Well, my name is Esther. I live in the Netherlands, in a little town called Buiten. And that town was liberated by the Timberwolves in early November 1944. And the reason why I'm in the United States is because I wanted to come back here, because the last two reunions I went to were just amazing to be here, to be present. And I got to meet so many of the veterans and the family, and they're all so wonderful. So that's why I'm back here. I work for my dad. He owns a garage, and I work at the office. So I just answer phone calls, make appointments, get people to pay. So, no, actually, I didn't like history at all at school. Just the only good grade I ever got for history was when we studied Second World War. So that's now I do like history, but not when I was in school. No.
What drew you to the Timberwolves?
I think a couple of years ago I visited my parents because I was at school in Wageningen, and it was during the May 4 Remembrance Day or the Liberation Day, I'm not sure. And a group of Timberwolf veterans came to Buiten, so I went to the ceremony, and I don't know, that I thought it was a really great thing to see what it meant for the veterans. And so when I came back home after I finished school, I talked to some of the people who were on the Remembrance Committee and asked them if I could join, and I could.
Did you come here alone?
Well, I flew in by myself, but there are also two guys from Belgium. And I actually met them because of the Timberwolves. So they're from a group in Belgium, and we meet on the reenactment events, and usually when the group from the United States is over in Europe, they're both there too. So
you were on the Fort Carson tour this week. What was your impression of that?
Well, first of all, I had never been on an army base before, so that was interesting to see. And I like to see the little village where they train the soldiers before they go over there. I thought that I never really thought about how they would train those people, but you know, it makes sense to get them used to smells and sounds and before they get over there. So that was pretty interesting. Yeah.
And tell me about the relationship you have with some of the veterans. You seem some of them have taken you under their wing, is what I mean to say.
Yeah, well, it's just like having a lot of grandparents here. Just, yeah, I love all the veterans. It's just, I like that they call it like the greatest generation. I think they were a great, or are still a great generation. I mean, what they did, they just, some of them were so young, and they went overseas to a country they've never been before to help people who they never met. And then the people back home, I mean, they didn't hear from their sons or their husbands for such a long time, and when the war was over, they just went back home and just got on with their lives, because there were so many people involved in the war that maybe everybody thought, okay, well, let's just not talk about it, get on with our lives, get a job, and then just start a family and enjoy life, because we're still here and a lot of people didn't make it back.
Right. Now the next generation in this organization are the Timberwolf Pups. What do you think about them and the way they pull these together and the way they celebrate the veterans' contribution?
I think it's great what they do, because I was present at the final reunion in Chicago, and there were so many veterans who just said, you know what, I don't want to stop going to the reunion, but it was just not possible anymore, I guess, for the veterans to be organizing such a big event by themselves. So I think it's just great that the pups took over and just put it all together, and then the veterans just have to show up and can enjoy the week, and instead of, you know, being busy all the time. And And that's what they deserve, I think, because for them I think it's the only chance they have to be among people who understand what they went through. Nobody else, I mean, they can try to explain, but if you weren't there, you don't know. And that's when you see them talking to each other about, do you remember this? And we were there, and you can almost see them like getting younger again.
Yeah.
And once, I think that was in the 2010 tour, when they visited my town, and we always take the group on a tour of the dikes, and we were standing at the Mark River, and then Frank Strebel one of the veterans, started to tell about how they cross the river, and he uses a cane, is it, I think, when he walks, but at that time when he was telling about what happened there and what he did, you were looking at like a young man again, and he just almost threw his cane away. And yeah, that's such a special experience to witness that. I mean, when they're actually at the same place where it happened, then I think that brings back a lot of memories for them.
And we'll see you in Europe. There's a tour this spring.
Yes.
Will you be part of that?
Yes, I definitely will be part of that. Yeah. Yeah, and since 2010, when I joined the committee in my town, I also met the other friends of the Timberwolves, and I would never have met them if it weren't for the Timberwolves. So, and they're a great group of people too. So before that used to be kind of separate, my town and their association, and now we're much more like one group and getting together and talking about what are we going to do when the group comes over, and so it's so much fun too. I mean, for the people here, we're just like one big group in Europe, friends of the Timberwolves. So I think that's the way it should be. All of us together and making sure that the veterans and their family and friends are welcome.